to the final to play against Victoria Azarenka. Definitely it's going to be exciting come tomorrow as far as the women's US Open is concerned. Also, women, they also played. We're also talking about them and how they themselves are getting ready for the finals of the US Open as well. We'll also take attention still in the United States to the basketball. The Western Conference semi-final playoff is currently going on, and Lakers are taking a 3-1 lead on the Houston Rockets. These and many more we'll definitely be talking about on the show this lovely Friday morning. Good morning and welcome to Sport Fiesta Section from 92.7 KUFM down here in Benin City. And the sports betters coming to offer Francis, the Bacadabra Sports Alihu Ibrahim, and also Ivan the Sports Maestro are here with me on the show this lovely morning. And let's start with what happened yesterday at the US Open. The early hours of this morning when Serena Williams took the first set 6-1. It was looking all good that she was going to do something fantastic, but the games that she has won and probably dominated the last two sets, she lost the first set of the game. The quarterfinals, the round of 16, maybe because she won the first set this time, maybe she just took her foot off the pedal and then Victoria Azarenka mustered her way through the final, semi-final to the final rather.
Yeah, congratulations to the Belarusian for winning that game yesterday. It wasn't easy. It was like a final, but then I think it was a semi-final match between two former world number ones, two big players who have also won Grand Slams. Though Serena Williams she has won 23, while Victoria Azarenka has won 2. But the way she played yesterday, I think it shows that yes, she's ready to add to her collection. But Naomi Osaka on her own is also a very good one. So I don't know where the penalty will swing, but for her to have been able to beat Serena Williams, I think that was really great. Yes, Serena has been struggling. Sometimes she had to come back from a set down to win and all that. But yesterday I expected that kind of fight. But after taking the first set, 6-1, I was expecting her to go ahead to complete the game, without allowing Azarenka to come back into the game. But the Belarusian, who has an inferior head-to-head, to Serena Williams, and having been beaten by the same American twice in the final, 2012 and 2013, just felt, okay, this is the time for me, to just come out of my seat and just give out everything that I have in this game. She came out and she won 6-3. Then the deciding set, she also won 6-3. So she was the better player, though as Serena Williams was attended to, she had a timeout. Yes, she was attended to the Achilles problem, but I don't know if that was the reason why she couldn't finish the game positively as in winning the game. But all the same, it's one of those things. We've seen players being strapped in left or right side, because of injury, and they still go on. Naomi Osaka is one of the examples. So she has been having some kind of stress, but she has been able to get herself into the final. So for me, I think we still have to look for one or two more Grand Slams to see if Serena will eventually make that. But that was a big opportunity. But she came against such an hard fighter who gave her tough problems. And also this one talking about Azarenka. So good one that she won the game.
The injury that Serena Williams suffered clearly hampered her. In the third set, you could see that she was physically struggling. Players sometimes get injured and they battle on to win, but it depends on the nature of the injury. You can see that she was physically struggling in that third set. I'm not saying that's why she lost, but it contributed. If you are injured, it depends on how you are able to recover in that game. But if it hampers your movement on the pitch, on the court, as we saw clearly with Serena Williams, there's really nothing you can do. You just have to battle on with the great heart of the champion and hope for the best. But really, when you're injured, it's a big problem. So her leg, her ankle, her Achilles heel was the entire ankle was heavily strapped even before the match started. So it's like she was having some problems with that. And when she called for the trainer, they had to put additional bandage on it. She just knew that she was in very serious trouble. Took the first set comfortably, 6-1. Second set, she lost 3-6. Third set, with the injury coming in, she also lost it 3-6. Not that of a surprise. Disappointing, yes, for Serena fans, but I'm not surprised that she lost to Victoria Azarenka. Azarenka is even younger than these are two men that have battled hard in the past, and Azarenka is one of the few players who could, when she's playing Serena Williams, you feel she had a chance. That was prime Serena Williams. Serena Williams at her very peak. Azarenka was one of the few people that could go head to head with her. Now that Serena is clearly past her prime, Azarenka too, you will argue that she's past her prime. She's going to have a child, and even recently she took time off playing tennis to attend to, because she was having custody battle with her boyfriend, with whom she had that child. So there were some off-the-court distractions for her, but she's been able to put all those behind her, and now she's back playing the best tennis of her life and getting to the final of the Grand Slam. But in front of her, the huge obstacle in the form of Serena Williams, she had to take it. She had to battle back. And many people who go one set down against Serena just feel mentally they are beaten. They feel, this is the greatest of our generation. But you've got to say that fear factor of Serena Williams has dwindled over the last couple of years. In the past, her power, many felt that it was her power hitting that forced people like what's this girl's name that was at one point she looked like she was going to just dominate everybody, but she left tennis early. Justin Henin Hadin, but later Justin Henin, and there was the other one, Martina Hingis. Also, people said because of the Williams sisters, this ladies were falling out of tennis. Eleanor Martina Hingis came back, but was she specialized in the doubles and had drug issues later in her career. So for Serena, I don't think that fear factor is there anymore like it used to be. Her power play before was awesome, and it just blew her opponents off the court. But I think the younger players out there now have been able to adjust, and so when anybody plays against Serena, you feel it is anything can happen. In the past, we just knew even before the match that Serena was going to win. It's not like that anymore. So that was why when she was to meet Azarenka, I said, look, these are two veterans, two people that you could call the grandmothers of tennis, and it could go either way. Although our hearts wanted Serena Williams to win, to equal that record of Margaret Court, but she's not doing it. If at 38 she doesn't do it, you wonder when she will be able to do it. But maybe that's why she's Serena Williams. It could be that it's at 39 or even 40. If she still remains, that she'll be able to do it. She will still keep hoping. But yesterday, Azarenka was the better player, and injury played a huge part, and that's why she had a fairly comfortable victory, even though she lost the first set 6-1.
Now we have a final upon us between Azarenka and Naomi Osaka. Osaka also took 3 sets to win again. Won the first, lost the second, but won the third to get her through to the finals. What kind of final we're expecting come tomorrow Saturday? As Azarenka experienced, as we talk about it, she's got it. Naomi Osaka, she's probably the leader of the new generation. She's got 2 Grand Slams and she's going for the third.
Apart from her play on the court, which is wonderful, her off-the-court activism. Because Serena Williams is not doing what Naomi Osaka is doing right now.
Sure.
Yesterday, I think it was Trevor Martin that she had on her face mask. She has had Brianna Taylor. She's had no, I think yesterday was Philando Castile. She had Trevor Martin some days earlier. So she has been in the forefront of the Black Lives Matter movement. So it's like she's on a mission. She doesn't care what people will say, whether they will criticize her. Some others are scared. Oh, if I start doing this, if I start this agitation for Black Lives Matter, I might not get some endorsement deals. There could be some contracts that I would have got, which will be denied me. But she clearly doesn't care. And she said, look, I am a black woman, and if you are killing black people, I feel that you are killing me too. So I'm speaking out. She is showing maturity beyond her years. Yeah, she's just 22, right? But she is not playing like a 22-year-old, and her actions off the court is showing somebody who is the leader, not just of the new generation, of the entire women's tennis right now. Really, that is what she is doing. She's stepping out and she's out there and doing her stuff. And when you have that kind of leadership qualities about you, when she beat Coco Gauff last year, she went to her and Coco Gauff was crying. She went to her and she consoled her and even asked her to join her in the post-match interview. It's not done. The loser doesn't get interviewed, but she called her to stand with her when they are doing the interview. That shows leadership. That shows maturity. She's not that much older than Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff is 16. She is 22. The difference between them is not that much, but she is already playing a mother figure for the younger athletes. And this is somebody herself that needed some motherly attention from Serena Williams when she beat Williams, and Williams threw that tantrum because the point was deducted off her, and they even took a game. A game was taken completely from her, and Naomi Osaka wasn't happy the way she won. And when she was speaking, people were booing, and she started crying. Serena Williams had to come and console her. So she herself needs consoling. She needs motherly advice, but she's already given that. That tells you that she's a girl who's matured beyond her age. So playing against Victoria Azarenka, I don't think she will be fazed by it. I don't think she will be overawed. Looking at what has happened, Serena Williams is a much more accomplished tennis player with greater achievements than Victoria Azarenka. Victoria Azarenka has won 2 Grand Slams. Naomi Osaka has won 2 Grand Slams. So she's not going to be scared of facing Azarenka. If she has been able to beat Serena, then who else will she be scared of? So it's going to be a great encounter, youth versus experience. Victoria Azarenka is also on a mission. She wants to get this. She wants to join people like Kim Clijsters, who took time off tennis, went, gave back, came back, and Kim Clijsters even played in this US Open, but she was beaten in the first round. And after giving back, she came and was still able to win tournaments and swimming and Grand Slam. So that's her inspiration. She wants to do stuff like that and go on to still win. So you feel that she will be fired up for this. But Naomi Osaka, from what I've seen of her, I will make her my favorite for the title. I hope the injuries that plagued her at the beginning of the tournament, where she will need the trainer to attend to her and come back, even she pulled out of the final of the Southern and Western Open, because of injury issues and fatigue. But she's here now playing and doing great stuff. So my money is on Naomi Osaka, not just because of the quality of tennis that I know she plays, but because of her agitation, her activism, her standing up for the Black Lives Matter movement and for black people. I think it will be great. It will make a very big statement if she goes on to win. There are no fans, but I'm sure she will be given that opportunity to do a lengthy interview, both the winner and the loser. They usually give them that, and then she should expect her to make some statements concerning the race issues in the United States of America and things happening in the world.
All right, later today by 9 p.m. to be Paulo Carreno Busta playing against Alexander Zverev as the men's singles is concerned at the US Open, the semi-final, and by 11 p.m. Nigerian time to be Daniil Medvedev against Dominic Thiem. We told you about Dominic Thiem that this man is fantastic, and some people were talking about Daniil Medvedev. This is where we get to settle who is the best in this US Open between Danny and Dominic. They get to play tonight. We'll talk more on the show this lovely Friday morning, but that will be after this quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
To win for the 9 Mobile Mega Millions promo. 90 people go come out 1 million naira every day for 90 days. 2 people go win smartphones every hour, every day. The one who say pass, now the 10 million naira grand prize. If you not be 9 Mobile customer, move come outside or buy a new line. In addition to the 20 millions and smartphones, we will summer you with 1 gigabyte plus 500 naira airtime instant car plus up to 100% data bonus for 1 year. Recharge 200 naira and above. Make you for the win. Promo starts August 10 and ends November 2020 and is approved by FC
When you wake up in the morning, before you start your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time. For work and for play, for a great start to your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time. Give your family a tasty, nourishing breakfast of Kellogg's cereal, powered with the goodness of grains and 11 essential vitamins and minerals. Now also available for just 50 naira. Breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
My name is Okiran Mokwede. This is my best story. Prior to 2018, I was a classroom teacher in Upper Oduma Primary School in Iyebe, Onwa East Local Government area in Edo State. In 2018, I went to attend the pilot phase training of the Edo Best Digital Teachers Training in Benin. And it's been a very interesting journey so far, from a classroom teacher in 2018, prior to 2018, that had no experience when it comes to using of the computer, using how to do data analysis. In a space of 2 years, the Governor Obaseki-led administration and the SUBEB led by Dr. Joan Osalgawi have given me the opportunity. They've trained me, equipped me, and they're giving me the opportunity to continue to support our teachers in schools, ensuring that effective teaching and learning is taking place in all primary schools in Edo State, ensuring that every Edo child is learning in Edo State.
Both Governor Obaseki, both PDP.
I'm tired of the poor power situation. Every time I stock the fridge, I come back to spoiled food.
My dear, I am tired too.
I think it's about time to go solar.
Go solar?
With Vertical Solar, we can go solar for as low as 6,000 naira monthly by paying installments of up to 12 months.
Really?
Vertical Solar range of products can power household devices such as televisions, fridges, air conditioners, microwave, water pumps, electric iron, washing machine, and lots more. With extensive pay installment plans up to 12 months with 10 years warranty.
Wow, what are the benefits of solar energy?
We're talking uninterrupted power supply, no monthly electricity bill, zero noise and smoke emission, and reduced generator maintenance cost.
Where is Vertical Solar located?
Number 28, Country Home Hotel Road, off Ajib Junction, Sapele Road, Benin City. You can call them on 0816-170-1105 or 0703-623-4843. You can also send them an email on info@verticalsolar.com.ng.
Vertical Solar, lifetime power partners.
Alright, thank you so much for staying with us on the show this morning. Okay, moving ahead now, let's look at the semi-finals. Daniil Medvedev and Dominic Thiem. But some fans of ours, they argue that the form that Daniil has been in this tournament, that he's their favorite. Obviously, everyone will get right to choose who's your favorite. And we've also looked at Dominic Thiem, not just this particular form that he is right now, but his antecedents, coming from a couple of years back to where he's right now. He's been the only one in all these guys right now playing that have been to a Grand Slam final and have really done something with great with against the big boys. Rafael Nadal, you talk about him. Roger Federer, you talk about him. He has been playing against them. Even when he's beaten, he has always given a very, very good account of himself, including against Novak Djokovic. Now, this is the time.
Daniil Medvedev has also been in the final, remember?
Oh, yes.
Against Rafael Nadal was
true,
2 sets down, but came back 2-2. Nadal barely won that encounter.
But now, this is one of those years that we're going to see somewhat different since Marin Cilic won the Grand Slam. Somewhat different from Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic win a Grand Slam. And
including Stan Wawrinka. Stan Wawrinka won in 2016.
Was it 2016?
Yeah.
Okay, in 2016, yeah. What about 2014?
2014.
Yeah. Okay, yes, that's true. That's true.
In the men's category, it will be a first name. If whoever wins, it's going to be a first person. Before of them that are there, they've not won a Grand Slam before. So we're having a new men's single champion. Somebody is going to win his first Grand Slam since 2014. Yeah, but if we are talking of the last time that any other person apart from Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, and Roger Federer won, you've got to say it's 2016 because
Stan Wawrinka won,
that was the third Grand Slam in 2016.
Okay, so technically, who gets to win? Definitely, Zverev is good, but I have my reservation on that. And very, but these two guys, they've been touted to be the leader, not Zverev, because the fact that both of them have been to finals of the Grand Slam and they've played against the best of the best.
Yeah, it could be that Zverev could be a champion, even if he's playing against Karen Buster. But then I think when we are looking at now is Danny Medvedev and Dominic Thiem.
Both of them.
Yeah, Thiem has done really well. And if you look at the head-to-head between Thiem and Danny, 3 matches they played, 2 wins for Thiem and 1 for Danny. But then this US Open has been very fantastic for the two guys. They've done extremely well. And getting to this this stage, I think this is where it gets tougher. Yes, 2 matches you become champion. So that is what they are looking at right now. How do we go from here? But then I think Dominic Thiem, this is one big opportunity for him. If he gets to win, I'm sure he will be able to beat whoever comes around from that game between Carino and Zverev. But then it's going to be a tight one. But whoever gets to win this, I'm sure will have a chance of winning the title come Sunday.
The thing is, in this US Open, the guy who has done better, you will say, is Danny Medvedev, because he has got to the final. Dominic Thiem, his best performance at the US Open was semi-final, and that was this year. This is his best that he has been able to achieve at the US Open. He's never been to the semi-final before. He's been to 3 finals. The French Open final in 2018 and 2019. He lost both, of course, to the Principality on clay, Rafael Nadal. He lost the final of the Australian Open this year to Novak Djokovic. And you've got to see that when you look at it particularly, you 2018, 2019, 2020, he's been to 3 finals. So the last 3 years, he's been on the up. Danny Medvedev only got to the final at the US Open in 2019. Sometimes he didn't make the Australian Open final because it was Thiem and Djokovic that contested it. So at the US Open, the guy that has gone furthest is Danny Medvedev. But the guy that has more Grand Slam final appearances, although you don't want to just appear in the final, you want to win, is Dominic Thiem. So it's going to be very close to call. But I would be backing Dominic Thiem. But let us also not forget that Danny Medvedev has not lost a set at this year's US Open. So it will be really, really tough. And somehow I'm thinking that the winner of this match will go on to win the tournament. No disrespect to Alexander Zverev, no disrespect to Pablo Carreño Busta. After all, he faced Djokovic and he went through. Yes, Djokovic was disqualified, but he was putting Djokovic under pressure, which made him frustrated to the point that he hit the ball and it struck a line swing. So you've got to also give him credit. So anything can happen. It could be Carreño Busta who will go on to win the US Open. But looking at their antecedent, looking at how well these guys have played, I think that Dominic Thiem has been on the rise since 2018. Got to the final, at least a Grand Slam final in 2018. Got to a Grand Slam final in 2019. Has been to a Grand Slam final in 2020. Now he is in a Grand Slam semi-final in 2018. So that's why I think that he is the favorite. He's my personal favorite, but anything can happen.
Okay, that's what is going to be going on as far as tennis is concerned. The US Open Grand Slam semi-final in the men's singles. I'm just talking about the women's singles. The final will be for tomorrow, and it's between Victoria Azarenka and Naomi Osaka. Okay, let's move.
By the way, Dominic Thiem is older. Yeah, I was thinking about this. Dominic Thiem is 27, while Danny Medvedev is 24.
Okay, now let's move to Florida and let's go straight to the bubble. The basketball playoffs is going on there. Playoffs from Western and Eastern Conference both going on right there in Florida. Last night we saw Lakers coming from the first game down in the series as they lost the first game to
First quarter.
First game to Houston Rockets, but that's one just as it were at the beginning of the series. We lost the first game, they came back, won the equal 1-2-1, 3-1, then went ahead to win 4-1. They are 3-1 up against Houston Rockets. Is it going to be possible with the way things are going? Davids and LeBron James combined yesterday. They awesome. Everything that they did yesterday just came together for good for them. Are we expecting them to take the game 4 and the game 5 now? It will be.
Yeah, I think what we need, what LeBron James needs to do now, is to rally his teammates and ensure that they don't give Houston Rockets a chance to, to fight back into to make it 3-3, or rather take the game to game 7, like what we were expecting from Denver Nuggets game, where they had to make it 3-3, waiting for game 7. But this time around, I think with what he did yesterday, though he wasn't the top performer, Anthony Davis was, but LeBron James, his physical presence is enough to give a position, that threat. But yesterday, they did very well, winning that game to take a 3-1 series lead, 110 points to 100 points. So it was really good. We had the two James on the court yesterday, two giants, gained James, but one was better at the end of the day, which was LeBron. And it will be the first time they'll be getting to the finals in 10 years, talking about LA Lakers. So James joined them for a reason. He wants to help them to win the title. Haven't done that with Cleveland Cavaliers. So yesterday he had a fantastic time. Though he scored 16 points, 15 rebounds, and 9 assists. But Russell Westbrook was the leading scorer for Houston Rockets. But it's possible Houston could fight back to make it 3-2 before losing the next game. But it's also possible that LA Lakers could just set things up by winning the next game and going to the final on with the 4-1 series win. But then I think we still got some matches, and there's still a chance for Houston Rockets. It all depends on how they handle the next game.
LeBron James said after they lost the first game that they underestimated the speed. They were caught unaware by the speed of the Houston Rockets, and after that game, they now know how to play them. And clearly, you can see that they have adjusted, and that's why they are able to win 3 games in a row. But something happened yesterday in the fourth quarter. It could have been a blowout win for the Lakers. They were 23 points up at a time. But how many points did they win by? 10 points. 110 to 100. And he said he's not happy that they were not able to see out game. That they've got to learn that when you are leading, especially in the fourth quarter, you've got to go on and dominate. And in fact, he had to do something spectacular yesterday to help his team to eventually win in that fourth quarter. Because if he had not laid the pass, and the pass off the board that gave them those points, it would have been much closer than the 110 to 100 points victory that we saw. So in game 4, in game 5 now, hope that they are going to just concentrate and get that one, because if the Houston Rockets wins the next game, yes, they will have that fight, that desire to go all out. So it's difficult, as we've seen in the series, for anybody to come from a 2-game deficit, which is what the Houston Rockets have said right now. So one more win for LeBron James. They will be in the Western Conference final, but James Harden will also try to get his team to really come out and play well.
Can we say that the presence of Anthony Davis this season has greatly improved LA Lakers? LeBron James was there last season. They couldn't really do much. They didn't really get to the playoffs at all, and they were first, stopping by Lakers. And the presence there, obviously, right now we can argue that when it's not a LeBron James day, it could be Anthony Davis day. When it's not Anthony Davis day, it could be LeBron James day, and both of them can even prepare.
It's not just the two of them. There are other players. There's this
this is Rondo.
Yeah, his name. Yeah, he also helps them, and they play well. And that's the thing. When I know, no matter what, every team, even if they are a team of superstars, there's usually that one player that is the biggest star. The Chicago Bulls team that dominated the NBA all those years ago, the star, the biggest player for them, always has been Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
But do not forget that at one point they had a Dennis Rodman, they also had a Scottie Pippen, and some other players in that squad, which helped the supporting cast for Michael Jordan as they went on to dominate. You look at the Houston Rockets side. Yes, they had Hakeem Olajuwon, but there was also like Drexler and some other players there who could rally around to him and give him the support. So, but many times, for many of these teams, it's just that one star player that is there, and it makes it really, really difficult. So, for LeBron James at Cleveland Cavaliers, he had Kyrie Irving, but most of the times Kyrie Irving was not even ready to listen to leadership. And it was when Kyrie Irving, when he left, and Kyrie Irving went to another team, and he now became the leader, that he even had to apologize to LeBron James for being recalcitrant when LeBron James was trying to get the team to do certain things, and he felt, oh, you are being overbearing and all that, you want to take all the shine and all of that. But as the leader, there are certain things that you've got to do, and if your supporting cast do not step up, then it's a problem, and you have got to tell them, you have to. Michael Jordan, when you see him play, you think he's one of the he's one of the nicest persons off the court, but on the court, he's a beast, he's a monster. He will tell you, he demands for excellence, and that's how they are. Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, they may not be that vocal on the pitch, but by their performances, they try to lead you. And when you do not do that in the dressing room, they will tell you off and say you are messing us up. It's because of you that we didn't win. So you need those other guys to step up, because the truth is nobody can do it on his own, no matter how great you are, except if it is an individual sport like tennis, even tennis, when it's not the doubles or the mixed doubles. It's no longer individual, but most of the times it's single. So you know you are just alone and you are doing your thing. So if you do not play well, that is it. But if it is a team sport, if it's football, if it's basketball, you need the other teammates to step up, because as they say, a chain is as strong as its weakest link. If there is a chink in the armor, then that is where you are going to get targeted. So if you have in basketball, there are 5 players on the court at every time. So if somebody who is supposed to play defense is not doing well, you are in trouble. If somebody who is supposed to play offense is not doing well, you are also still in trouble. So everybody has got to step up. It's not just one person that will be playing. You can't rebound, steal, assist, and score yourself. You can when they say an assist, it means you passing the ball to somebody. You don't assist yourself. You don't. Except maybe when you throw the ball and it cannons off the board, and you have seen some players do that, sometimes. So, but they don't even count that as an assist. Yes. So you can't do everything yourself. You need others to help you.
Okay. Later tonight, the LA Clippers to play against the Denver Nuggets, and of course that series as well is also interesting, especially for the Clippers. And then later, early hours of tomorrow by 2 a.m. to be the deciding game between Toronto Raptors and Boston Celtics. This series is tied at 3-all. Let's see what will happen. I mean, the Miami Heat, they're already resting, crossing their legs in their couch, waiting for these two greats to play, and let's have a fantastic Eastern playoff final. So we'll get to know by tomorrow. We'll come here by 3:30 p.m. Who will be playing against Miami Heat. For the Clippers, they are on the verge of getting to the finals, and if LeBron James and Anthony Davis gets to win the next game, they will be thrown to the finals of the Western Conference playoffs rather. Then we can have the NBA finals proper. Okay, we'll go for this last break on the show now. When we come back, we'll be moving straight to football. And for the first time this season, 2020-2021 season, we're giving out the fixtures of the English Premier League. The French League is already on, but not a good start for Paris Saint-Germain last night.
We not be God win you. We not go for any other person. We not go for. If we not be PDP, we not go for any other person. We not go for. Oh God, make you carry your tickets, bro. Oh God, I say carry your tickets, bro. Any day between the and the tickets, bro. Anywhere I would go, oh God, make you carry your tickets, bro.
essential vitamins and minerals. Now also available for just 50 naira.
Since I switched to Mamador 100% pure cooking oil, family meal times have been so rewarding. You see, Mamador 100% pure cooking oil is cholesterol free and contains omega 6 and 9, proven to keep heart healthy. Not only that, it also makes my food taste delicious.
You sure know how to take care of my stomach.
And your heart especially.
Switch to Mamador and enjoy healthy and tasty meals. Mamador is tested and approved by the Nigerian Heart Foundation. Cook with Mamador. Your heart will thank you.
It's a new day, a new beginning. As you prepare for the day ahead, just anything is not enough. For a delightful, healthy start. Start your day right. It's all on your ear, all on your ear, all on Monday. Free vitamins and nutrition. Life is a different view. All on your ear.
Hollandia Invert Milk. Correct nutrients for healthy breakfast.
Thank you so much for staying with us on the show this lovely Friday morning. Let's move straight to football now, and let's talk about the French League. Paris Saint-Germain started theirs last night because of their improvement in the UEFA Champions League, kind of delayed their start to the season. But they started last night actually, and obviously, like you said yesterday while you were here in the side of the MIC, you said a depleted side. Obviously, it was a depleted side, but looking at the money spent on the team, rather, to probably have this kind of respite for them when big players, so to speak, are injured. These other players who were on the pitch for them, they are supposed to come in to do something great, but yeah, they played well, but their playing well wasn't good enough. They were flat-footed from the get-go to the last blast of the whistle last night, and hence the new promoted side got the better of them. One day it ended.
Yeah, good one for Lens, playing their very first game yesterday in the first league on, and getting to the second game rather, and getting to win that game, which was their first victory. That was really good. Playing against the Paris Saint-Germain, irrespective of those that played, those that did not play. PSG is PSG, but when you look at the players that tested positive to coronavirus and did not play, the big stars with all the Morikandi, Neymar, Kylian Mbappe, and the rest. Look at it was even the third choice goalkeeper that was in goal yesterday.
So why did they go
and he committed an error. Yeah, but sometimes it's like that. Once you win the season, you need to travel around that. But then,
these are non-normal circumstances.
Yeah, but this is not something we expected from Paris Saint-Germain. But we hope that their next game, which is going to be against another big side, which is going to be a big side in Olympique Marseille. Yeah, let me use the word big side for them, because if not, that they've been they're not taking their chances.
The next game met.
Yeah, their next game is against Marseille on Sunday. Yeah, by then, hopefully, some of the players will return from, will be available for this game. If they are not available, just like these same players are going to take care of that game, I'm sure they are going to be beating more than 1-0 by Marseille, because Marseille, they are a bigger side than Lens. But I have always expected players like Marco Verratti, Gisagui, and Kimpembe to also try to push other lads to get something yesterday. Yes, we know Kozawa has not been the first choice left back, but it's also aging. But yesterday, he played that game yesterday, and also he couldn't really end. Pablo Sarabia, who is down the pecking order when it comes to choosing strikers, was one that led the line yesterday, but they couldn't get anything. It was half-time goalless, but the goal came in the 57th minute from Cameroonian-born forward Ignatius Ganago, who got that goal for them. So that was a huge boost for Lens. But for PSG, we know this is just the beginning of the season. By the time the big guys returns, we know they are definitely going to be favourites to win the championship at the end of this season.
Okay. So it makes it interesting that the champions lost their very first game because they are basically sick of Paris Saint-Germain winning all the time.
to win.
You're not expecting them to win the
That's because I don't want them to win.
well, what
Dembele,
we expect and what happens in life sometimes are completely different things. So I'm sure by the time their big stars come on, they are going to get back to winning ways. But it is interesting that they lost their first game. So maybe the other things were thinking, hey, hold on, here's a chance for us to go on to win. But we know Paris Saint-Germain, we know that they've dominated the French League on for several years. So if they go on to win it again, it's not going to surprise anybody. But you know, this COVID-19 situation, you don't I'm just trying to be very careful so that it doesn't seem like you are not sympathetic towards people who have been infected with something. But if they had been a bit more
careful,
yes, maybe this would not have happened with the situation of things right now. So Paris Saint-Germain as a club have got to really look at this. But you also know that some of the players got infected while on national team assignment. So this is where players have got to take personal responsibility. They've got to be really, really careful. Well, we've seen players getting infected when they were not on national assignment, when they were doing things they were not supposed to be doing at that time. And we've also seen players who were not careful. They put you in a secure bubble, but you decided on your own because you want to enjoy yourself to break that bubble by either inviting people into the bubble illegally or you going out of the bubble, you know. So things like that have happened, and with what is happening right now, with the repercussions of COVID, meaning Paris Saint-Germain losing seven first team players, and because of that, as a consequence, they lost their first game in the French League. Maybe that will warn other people, not just footballers, to be very careful about COVID. It might not be deadly to you, but there are other ways it could negatively affect you. In the case of Paris Saint-Germain, 3 points are gone. They will never get it again. It's not like we have another opportunity of getting that same 3 points that was lost in that first game. It's gone. You've got to now try to get all the points available from the remaining 37 games. They are not playing 38 games in the season again. They've already played one. So it's 37 matches that are left, and they will try to win this season from those 37 games.
Okay, let's quickly take a look at all the games played for this weekend, starting from today.
All right, Bordeaux later at 8 p.m. Bordeaux will play host to Lyon. Then tomorrow, Saturday, Montpellier will take on Nice at 4. Then at 8, Saint-Etienne will be at home to Strasbourg. Then on Sunday, Lille will entertain Metz, Angers versus Reims. Dijon will take on Brest, Lorient versus Lens. Nice will face Rennes. Monaco will take on Nantes, while PSG will take on Marseille.
Okay, for the first time this season, not the restart now, for the first time this season, let's dive into the English Premier League. With some managers had their press conferences yesterday. Chelsea, Everton, Liverpool managers throwing the tantrums and all that stuff to Chelsea, and of course the corner calling yesterday. Okay, but let's take a look at it. They play this weekend. The English Premier League is back, and the most important game of the first day of the English Premier League is at the defending champions. Sorry, let me use the word. They are attacking champions. That's what Jurgen wants us to see them as, not defending. They want to attack the title. They play against another side. If you follow English football religiously, not just the last 10 years, not even the last 20 years, but following very well since the inception of the English football. You know, Leeds United, they are absolutely something happened to them, went to administration, went to relegation and all that stuff, but they are back now. And they've got a fantastic manager that others that have even won the Premier League and the Champions League. Yeah, and the Premier League, they pay respect to Marcelo Bielsa. Tomorrow, 5:30 or thereabout, they will be playing at Anfield. Liverpool, Leeds United.
Well, a tough one at that, but Liverpool playing at Anfield, their very first game after winning the Premier League for the first time in 30 years. I think that is going to be really.
Not their first game.
No, sorry, their first title.
The Community Shield.
Yeah, I'm talking about the English Premier League, if you have to say. Yes. In the first game in the English Premier League, I think it's going to be, a tight one. But it's going to be different from what we got from the game against Arsenal, which was a cutting razor. Because this time around, they are trying to see how they can defend the title, which is not going to be really, really easy. It's possible, but it's not going to be easy. But playing against this United, led by, an experienced coach like Marcelo Bielsa, the Bielsa will be on the touchline, giving his players the instructions to go out there. He's not going to be the one going to the pitch, but he got Liverpool with big-time players who have won everything, Champions League, Club World Cup, Premier League. So it's not going to be easy, but this is the English Premier League where Leeds United go on to beat Liverpool tomorrow at Anfield, and it's possible. And if you look at the way they gain promotion, they've got some quality players, even in Carl Phillips, who really did well with Leeds United, and a couple of other players.
Rodrigo from Valencia.
Rodrigo, they just signed him from Valencia. He has got that experience to play in big matches, but then I think they are still behind the Liverpool.
For time, we'll analyze the English Premier League later, but let's just give our fans the fixtures for the weekend. Yeah, skip the other two. Manchester, skip those two. Let's have. Yeah.
Okay, it kicks off tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Fulham taking on Arsenal. London Derby at Craven Cottage. Yeah, Cottage. Then we go to West Ham United at 8 p.m. They will take on Newcastle United. Then on Sunday,
Crystal Palace will be playing against Southampton.
Yeah, that was
West Ham United will be playing against Newcastle United.
Then tomorrow, Sunday rather, West Bromwich Albion at the Hotons will play host to Leicester City, while Tottenham Hotspur will welcome Everton. Then on Monday, Sheffield United will take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Then Brighton and Hove Albion at the Emirates Stadium will be around to Chelsea.
Alright, those are the first games. Now, like I said, skip the Manchester, like I told you, so we're having them play the next weekend, not this one, the upper weekend. Yeah, because of time, I would have loved to dive into some rumors for transfer, but we have to see if we have got some messages, and let's take a look at them. If there are not much messages.
Okay. Before we take the messages, this story we really have got to take. The Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdul-Razak, he paid a visit to the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, yesterday in his office in Lagos, and then he told him that they have concluded plans to immortalize football great Rashidi Yekini, and that is that they are going to rename the Kwara State Sports Complex after Rashidi Yekini. So it's going to become known as the Rashidi Yekini Stadium. That they are going to send a bill to the Kwara State House of Assembly to get this done. Then he also told the minister that he would love to host the USA 94 Super Eagles squad. That he was in the stadium when Nigeria played against Greece, and he fell in love with a number 14. We all know who that was, Daniel Amokachi, and of course Rashidi Yekini is from Kwara State. So because of this, they are going to immortalize Yekini by naming the stadium after him, and then they will also, he as the governor will want to host the guys that are still alive of the USA 94 squad. Luckily, many of them are still alive. I think about 5 of them have now sadly passed on. So he's going to host them in Government House, and then pay tribute to Rashidi Yekini, who is from Kwara State. All right, let's look at the messages now. As Ibra, having an individual dominate does not flow with me. Messi, Ronaldo, Serena do not have to create any record. You win 23 times is enough. A double donut. Why are they paying you now? I don't understand. I mean, come on. Everybody is there trying to do their thing. So it doesn't mean that because there are 4 Grand Slams in a year, one person, if the person is good enough, shouldn't be winning all 4. It could get boring if you are not a fan of that person. But how do you define greatness if not that you have one person dominating? That's it. If every year you have a different player being World Footballer of the Year, then what is the greatness of Lionel Messi? What's the greatness of Cristiano Ronaldo? If they cannot dominate and shine, if clubs like Manchester United, clubs like Liverpool, clubs like Arsenal have not created records in the English Premier League. We'll be talking about them in world football. We'll be talking about Real Madrid, Barcelona, and others. So you may not like it, but it's life. It's how it is. Good days are so PSG without Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria, Icardi. They are just another no budget Aston Villa. Without those 4 stars, they cannot win a match. What is the latest transfer on Gareth Bale to Tottenham? The latest is not Real Madrid are willing to pay half of his salary. So we'll have to wait and see what will sorry, I'm having problem with the network. I've lost the remaining messages. Let's see if we'll be able to get them back. Okay, there we go.
Let's take one more, just one more.
Okay. Good day, KUFM. Oga Francis, I know you and I know this street. What was that? And Man United brother. If you know him and you are staying in his street, why is saying also that is including mentioning the color of your car? Let's go.
Let's take the final whistle on the show this morning.
I needed to find energy to climb out of the hole, and it wasn't easy. Hopefully, it inspires women to go after their dreams. They can do anything. 2-time Grand Slam champion Victoria Azarenka speaking after knocking out Serena Williams to reach the US Open final. And that's the final whistle on the show this morning.
Because it's time for us to leave the studio. Don't worry about by 4 p.m. Then we'll continue this rumor that you are in to hear. Have yourself a wonderful day ahead and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Trying to get or receive information through all corners of the globe requires unprecedented internet service. At Wireless NG, we provide fast, reliable, and affordable